There's a couple different things that people should do immediately, whether they get a lawyer or not. Obviously, a lawyer is very important to the process because if you don't have a lawyer, the state's going to make you an offer to resolve it. That's probably not going to be your best result. You're not going to know as a layperson necessarily if you should be challenging things, filing motions to challenge evidence or challenge the stop, or whether or not you're really negotiating the best deal for yourself. You should be cooperative, but you should not be disruptive, okay? And I see a lot of people lately with everything going on in the news with police and everything, I know my rights, that kind of thing. That never works. It doesn't get you very far. It goes into a police report, it goes into a criminal complaint. The court looks at that and will use it against you to some extent, okay? You have the option of doing field tests on the scene. It is not required. You can't be penalized for refusing to do the field tests. The same applies to the PBT, the portable breath test that's on the scene. There is no obligation to do that, and not giving that sample at the scene is not considered a refusal. If, however, you're arrested and they take you into custody and they want to either do a blood draw or give you the evidentiary breath test, that one you should do, okay? You may have a high BAC, but refusing to do it is an automatic requirement, an automatic revocation, so forth. So I advise people to, at least at that point, if you're arrested, to be cooperative to that extent. So the biggest thing you can do is again, comply with your bond conditions. That's number one above all else. The second thing with OWIs is to get into treatment. You may think you don't have an alcohol problem or a drinking problem or drug problem. Those are all different ways you can get an OWI. But it is very important to ultimate resolution of the case. Every client I advise to immediately, upon retaining me, if they haven't already, to engage in an alcohol or drug assessment and to engage in follow-up treatment. That doesn't mean that I'm going to push you to resolve your case through a plea and go to sentencing. There may be motions filed, there may be trial. But again, these are things that can't happen quickly. So we can't go through the whole case, decide we're not going to go to trial, and say, okay, in 2 weeks we're going to go to plea and sentencing, now do treatment. It doesn't work that way. Most of the treatment programs are a minimum of 20 weeks long, so we need to prepare as if we're doing that. Again, that doesn't mean that from the very beginning we're going to push towards plea and sentencing. Every case is different. We'll look at the facts and decide what to do together. But it's important to engage in that right away. It looks really good for the court while your case is pending. Every time the court gets updated at an appearance by the monitoring agency that you're going through while your case is pending, and they get updates saying you're doing treatment, you're doing these other things, and that looks good while the case goes on. And then ultimately, if we get to plea and sentencing, it works in your favor at the end.